You think you control your choices, but science shows that 95% of your life is dictated by a part of your brain you cannot even see. It decides who you love, what you fear, and how successful you become before you even realize it. Today, we unlock the black box of your subconscious mind and reveal 7 ways to reprogram it for success. Fact 1. The iceberg theory. Your conscious mind is just the tip. The subconscious holds all your memories and habits below the surface. Think of your mind as an iceberg docked in quiet seas. The visible tip is your conscious awareness, where you decide and deliberate in the moment. Beneath the waterline lies a vast reservoir of memories, skills, preferences, and habits that shape every move you make. This layered view reveals a powerful unity between what you actively choose and what quietly guides those choices from below. Neuroscience frames this as 2 interacting systems. Your deliberate thinking lights up when you tackle a challenge, coordinate plans, or weigh options. Meanwhile, a network of circuits governing automatic action quietly handles routines. Procedural memory resides in the basal ganglia, guiding habits. The hippocampus stores memories and builds context. The amygdala assigns emotional tone to experiences. The prefrontal cortex coordinates attention and control. Together, they craft a seamless orchestra where conscious effort and deep-seated patterns harmonize to produce steady progress. Consider learning to ride a bike. After practice, balance and pedaling become automatic, freeing your attention for the road ahead. The same pattern appears in language as you shift into fluent phrases after repetition. A familiar scent or cue nudges a choice as your subconscious lines up patterns it has learned. Habit formation arises from repeated pairing of actions with outcomes in specific environments. Your current routines emerge from this hidden layer, shaping how you respond to daily situations with poise and ease. Knowing this invites you to tune your inner landscape with intention. Design cues, routines, and small rewards that align with your goals, so the subconscious supports your visible efforts. Simple daily practices, clarifying a clear intention, creating repeatable steps, and arranging supportive triggers, become powerful edits to the deep programming guiding you. Over time, the surface decisions reflect the strength of the reservoir below, revealing a growing sense of momentum and potential as your continual inner work unfolds. Fact 2. The recorder that never stops. Your subconscious records everything you see and hear, even when you sleep. Your subconscious acts as an unceasing recorder of the sights, sounds, and impressions you encounter, both in daylight and as you drift toward sleep. It files these impressions into a living archive. This archive is dynamic, humming with patterns that influence how you think, feel, and choose, often outside your immediate awareness. The flow is quiet and pervasive. When you observe closely, you notice that attention acts like a flashlight that highlights what matters and allows your subconscious to tag it with meaning for future use. During sleep, your brain continues to process sensory input, shaping memories through quiet rehearsal. Specialized regions like the hippocampus work to pair moments you have lived with broader networks in the cortex. Dream moments color emotion in memory traces. This ongoing activity creates linkages that prime you for new learning when you wake. The result feels like your mind refining your inner map while the outer world rests. Ambient sounds and scents become soft anchors that drift into your inner landscape. A melody, a voice, or a familiar fragrance can cue a mood or a belief long after you heard it. Repeated exposure to helpful cues can tilt your associations toward growth-oriented choices. You can find yourself reaching for calm routines or feeling drawn to productive ideas after such cues. These subtle slips of influence reveal the recorder's reach as it maps your inner terrain. You can guide the recorder by curating what you expose yourself to as you wind down. Choose uplifting, clear input before sleep and create a calm, consistent bedtime ritual. Use positive affirmations, visualizations, or brief goal cues as you drift into unconscious processing. Anchor actions to cues by repeating simple intentions and letting them sink into routine. Over time, you notice smoother mornings and sharper focus as your subconscious reinforces the right patterns. Fact 3. No concept of time. To your subconscious, past traumas feel like they are happening right now. Neuroscience reveals the brain's memory system operates with a fast track that can blur time. The amygdala flags emotional significance instantly, spreading signals to networks that regulate arousal and attention. The hippocampus binds events into a storyline, yet under pressure it favors vivid details and raw sensations over a stabilized context. Time can feel suspended. As a result, past experiences can surface as if they are unfolding in the present moment. Think of your mind as an iceberg, Conscious thought floats on top, while buried feelings and sensory threads loom beneath, ready to surge when a cue appears. When a cue touches a stored memory, time collapses in your subconscious. The brain reads the current scene as an extension of the old script, and your body responds with the same familiar pattern. A hallway echoing a past critique, a smell, a touch, or a voice can trigger a surge of emotion, even long after the event itself. The memory replays in sensory terms rather than narrative terms, so you feel it in the moment rather than recall it as history. It is not a flaw. This is not a flaw. It's a design feature that invites growth. You can guide these processes with deliberate practice. Grounding helps you re-anchor in the present by sensing your feet, your breath, and your posture. A quick label of the cue, "This is a memory, not a moment of danger," can soften the automatic response. Then you redefine what comes next by choosing a new action, a short movement, a sip of water, or a simple pause to breathe. Reframing memory through small, repeated experiences helps the brain update its files, creating room for new outcomes. Begin where you stand. Over time, you build new associations that change the soundtrack your subconscious plays. You may pair cues with calm states, with confident self-talk, or with a safe person nearby. Memory reconsolidation becomes a friend here, as the brain updates old traces when you revisit them with curiosity and care. Sleep supports this work, letting new patterns settle into long-term storage. Your growth arc is visible in the way familiar triggers lose their edge and you respond with steadier energy. Growth is possible. You are training your inner software to run kinder algorithms, unlocking hidden potential you carry from within. Fact 4. It cannot distinguish truth from fiction. That is why visualization works. Your brain thinks your imagination is real. Your subconscious operates with pictures, sensations, and inner narratives that feel real enough to guide your actions. When you visualize a goal with crisp detail, your brain lights up the same networks used during real experiences. Perception, intention, and emotion fuse into a living rehearsal that translates imagination into readiness. This is like an iceberg where the visible plan is supported by a dense foundation below the surface, ready to shift the current of behavior. Neuroscience shows that vividly imagined experiences recruit sensory cortices, motor planning areas, and the cerebellum, producing a prophecy of movement rather than a mere dream. The hippocampus packages the scene into a memory-like fragment, making it easier to recall and refine. The prefrontal cortex and limbic system align motivation and emotion, turning possibility into intention. The brain uses these rehearsals to prime pathways, shaping how you respond when real cues appear. In practice, athletes, performers, and learners harness this by weaving sensory detail, timing, and emotion into daily drills. A runner who visualizes a smooth stride breathes with the rhythm of the imagined pace and notices subtle adjustments in posture. A public speaker who pictures a steady tempo, confident gaze, and precise pauses trains attention and reduces jitter. The effect extends beyond performance. Visualization can elevate confidence and resilience because anticipation itself becomes training. To maximize growth, design images that engage all senses: sight, sound, touch, taste, and internal felt sense. Keep sessions concise yet frequent, and layer the imagery with actionable steps you can take next. Pair visualization with real-world practice and immediate feedback so the imagined cues align with actual outcomes. Treat rehearsal as a bridge you build daily, a quiet workshop where your potential becomes clearer and your capacity expands. Fact 5. The pilot of your habits. You don't decide to tie your shoes. Your autopilot does it. We explain how to change the autopilot. Your habits are steered by an autopilot built deep in your brain, a system that runs like background software before you consciously decide. This autopilot runs the show. The engine sits in the basal ganglia and its connected circuits, forming loops that compress actions into smooth sequences. Patterns click, guiding behavior. When you tie your shoes, your brain calls up a practice sequence, pulling each motion from memory in moments, with little conscious timing. You catch speed from repetition. To change the autopilot, you design a new cue, a new routine, and a reward that aligns with your intention. Begin with the cue. A cue can be environmental, such as stepping into a space that invites activity. The routine is the action you want, such as a short stretch and a glass of water. The reward confirms your brain that a new pattern is worth keeping. Rewards matter. The brain operates like a computer running behind the scenes, and you can rewire its scripts by mapping cues to kinder, more powerful routines. Practice acts as the lever. Repeated rehearsal strengthens the new loop until it feels automatic. Momentum builds. Implementation intentions transform vague resolve into concrete action. For example, whenever you encounter a cue, you initiate a microtask that nudges the day forward. Consistency compounds. The brain loves precision, so phrase your intentions in a clear, repeatable pattern that reduces friction and invites your prefrontal control to partner with the basal ganglia. Design your environment as a living map that makes the preferred autopilot obvious, placing cues where you want to act and letting small wins accumulate. Progress reveals itself as steady momentum. As the iceberg of habit breaks its surface, the bulk of your behavior shifts from drama to routine, while your mind experiences calm efficiency and curiosity about hidden routes to growth. You are the navigator, and your autopilot becomes a reliable co-pilot. Fact 6. The filter system. Your brain ignores millions of details to show you only what you believe is important. Your brain functions as a powerful filter that prioritizes signals aligned with your beliefs and goals. It guides what rises to your awareness. A key pathway for this filtering is the reticular activating system, a network that tunes attention towards stimuli that match your intended outcomes. Through predictive coding, your mind interprets sensory input by using your expectations as a compass. Like an iceberg and a computer firewall, most of the work happens beneath the surface, shaping what you notice above. Your surface focus reveals only what you believe is important. If you hold a belief about harmony in relationships, you begin to notice cues that support that view, while you move your attention away from signals that fall outside. This is a practical feature of perception, a natural outcome of how perception works. You can gently train this filter by refining your beliefs and surrounding yourself with cues that affirm your aims. Start with a clear sense of what you want to notice. Write a precise belief statement that describes your capability, your focus, and the daily cues you want to see. Arrange your environment to reflect that aim, from the people you engage with to the micro-rituals you perform. In skill growth, your brain seeks patterns your expectations anticipate. You reinforce the path with consistent practice and by guiding attention to signals that matter. Over time, you notice opportunities that align with your focused lens, and energy follows attention. You unlock hidden potential by widening your capacity to notice what matters. Fact 7. Reprogramming is possible. How repetition and emotion can change the wiring of your brain. Your brain continually rewires itself through a process called neuroplasticity, reshaping the networks that underlie every habit, thought, and sensation you experience. Repetition is the sculptor. When you repeatedly activate a circuit, the synapses involved grow stronger through a mechanism known as long-term potentiation, making the pathway more efficient for future use. Emotion acts like a spark. Emotional arousal floods the system with signaling chemicals such as dopamine, norepinephrine, and cortisol, tagging the experience for vivid consolidation into memory and influencing which pathways you reinforce. Think of your subconscious as an iceberg where the charged, visible tip interacts with vast currents below the surface that carry beliefs and automatic biases. Reprogramming is possible. By pairing repetition with meaningful emotion, you change the interpretive filter that guides attention, so future choices align with your stated aims. The wiring shifts as memories gain emotional weight. Every practice you repeat with intention serves as a software update, refining the subconscious operating system that manages routine actions without your conscious intervention. Take a real-world example. You choose a tiny, practical habit such as pausing before reacting to a frustrating moment. Repeat the pause with sincere curiosity and calm emotion, and over time the pause becomes automatic. The effect is perceptible in how your attention settles on options rather than impulses. Another example involves reframing self-talk. You replace a limiting script with affirmations delivered with genuine conviction, and the repeated, emotionally charged messages rewrite the narrative stored in your frontal networks. Your brain learns via associations linking behavior to reward. Practice sets you up for a durable change pattern because every repetition layers new associations on top of old ones, gradually shifting automatic responses toward your desired trajectory. To harness this power, design a deliberate routine that integrates 3 elements: a clear cue, a meaningful emotional anchor, and frequent repetition across relevant contexts. Make the cue simple and consistent. Cultivate emotion by anchoring the practice to a purpose that lights your curiosity, gratitude, or resolve, and let that energy travel with you through varying environments. Track your growth with gentle checks that celebrate small shifts. Over time, you will notice smoother transitions from intention to action, a sharpened sense of control, and a growing confidence that you can mold the inner software toward a brighter horizon. You stand at the edge of a vast inner landscape, where your subconscious mind quietly powers the scenes of your life. What lies beneath the surface shapes your choices more than the surface story you tell yourself. The iceberg holds true here, a tiny tip above water, while a powerful current flows below. Your brain runs like a complex computer. The conscious mind writes the commands, while the subconscious stores habits, beliefs, and the scripts that guide your days. When you repeat a practice with feeling, those scripts begin to run with ease, becoming your daily default. Directly, here are the core ideas you can carry forward. Your subconscious absorbs patterns from repetition and emotion. It translates your clear intention into action. Neuroplasticity makes new pathways possible through steady practice. Simple visualization aligns this inner program with your goals. Your environment and what you feed your attention with become co-authors of the lived experience. You can sculpt the tone, tempo, and texture of your days by elevating the ideas you plant in your inner soil. You are not a passenger on this journey. You steer the ship of your mind, shaping what your inner computer learns and how it runs. By inviting deliberate focus and gentle repetition, you upgrade the software that quietly drives motivation, habit, and resilience. Think of the subconscious as an inner gardener tending countless tiny sprouts. Your conscious intention acts as the gardener's compass, signaling what to nurture and what to prune. The result is a life that feels more aligned, more capable, more expansive. Today, choose one uplifting intention and anchor it with a 5-minute ritual that you perform at a consistent time each day. Let a brief breath settle your attention, conjure a vivid image of the outcome you desire, and take one tiny action that moves you toward that vision. This simple trio, breath, image, action, creates a steady rhythm that the subconscious loves, turning aspiration into observable momentum. In this video, we've mapped a path from insight to action. We've translated neuroscience into plain language, used the iceberg and computer metaphors to illuminate how your mind works, and highlighted practical steps you can begin to apply now. The natural connection you feel with your own growth is exactly the signal that you're already moving in the right direction. In upcoming episodes, we will go deeper into practical steps you can apply every day, focused journaling prompts, guided visualizations you can follow along with, and small tweaks to your environment that sustain momentum. We'll explore how memory, emotion, and attention weave together with your subconscious, and we'll offer approachable exercises you can try in minutes to reinforce your inner program. Your journey begins now. Join me in the next chapter as we translate this inside work into tangible steps you can apply immediately. Until then, carry the image of your inner iceberg as a thriving engine, your subconscious as a patient gardener, and your conscious intention as the spark that lights the path ahead. You are ready to grow into your fullest potential, one deliberate step at a time.